like, look, we're making the new counterculture whether they want it or not. So who's going to run the non-woke answer to Newsarama or the non-autistic IGN?
Our new co-host that will be taking Richard's spot on the show is Mr. Emily Music. My next co-host, the man who will absolutely make you change. And by making you change, what I mean by that is he is going to help you change from having that story in your head to putting it on paper and putting it into people's hands. And this is the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel P. Riley of whimsyland.org.
Alcohol. A good Christian boy.
Number one Iron Age booty daddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Royce. Welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. I am buying a goat. I love goat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Why is StreamYard not clicking the button? What? Click the button, StreamYard. There it goes. Oh, I gotta hate this. Hey, everybody.
Welcome forward.
I don't understand. You know what? I think I know why it does that. It's because the brand video loop has not concluded, so it's not going to change unless I cancel it. That's
it's
weird.
just a drink with Boomer. Get over it.
Fuck off. Hey, everybody. It's going to be a good night. I'm excited. I got a trailer that I'm going to restore because I can't just, live life. I have to have constant things that I do. It's okay, though. It's okay, though. Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome back to Iron Age Nights, the show where we bring you an indie creator every single week. Some indie creators you're familiar with, some you're not familiar with. This guy has been doing all of the podcasts all week. It's almost like he needs you to buy his book. And
that's copyright infringement on the hedge.
I'm okay. I
Purchase
will copyright
his book.
No, I will copyright infringe the hedge
Purchase
every
his
day of the
literature.
and twice on Sundays. I would copyright infringe the hedge at church on a Sunday twice because I feel that it's the right thing to do.
He might sue, just so you know.
He might
flip the tables and
oh my god, it'd be
release the cattle.
Great. Hey everybody! Oh my gosh, dude, it's been such a great week. Oh man, I've got so much to do and videos to record tomorrow and a shed to build tomorrow and all kinds of stuff. Oh, I love being busy. Being busy is awesome, and I hope that all of you guys like being busy. But while you're not busy on a Friday night, chill here and hang out with us. Without any further ado, we're going to say hello to Gorilla Mar in the chat. What's going on, man? We got RH Snow there as well. We've got Horizon Talker, Jersey. What's going on? We got Seabats. That woman is insane, and I don't like the fact that she exchanged numbers with my wife because now I don't like this. Avily Music, you're on the show. You don't need to stop associating with the chat.
My people.
Stop associating. Don't talk to the chick because then they
Justin belongs to the streets.
don't.
Oh no, you're on Royce's team. Oh Lord.
Batsots, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. We have got Whimsyland in the chat. Stop associating with the chat.
No.
Also, screw you for that comment. Brian Sanchez, what's going on, dude? It's good to see you in the house, dude. Oh, John A. Douglas, what's going on? John A. Douglas, orcs are gay. The Phoenix Press,
Orcs are
stop
very
associating
gay.
with the chat.
No.
I don't understand all of it. And really quickly before we get into the show, it would be absolutely
Nick and I are on the same wavelength.
I don't like that. I don't like that. It would
Just
be
tell
absolutely-
Royce no.
No, you fuck off. It would be absolutely fantabulous if all of you guys would go check out the Teespring store over And check out the I Support Indie Creators t-shirt. I would love to get this out there in the world. I have one shirt and it is somewhere. Sometimes my wife wears it and then it goes back into the laundry. I've worn it like twice and it disappears and I don't know why. But you guys can check out the link tree and find that link in the link tree. And if you guys are the super chatting types of people, you can super chat over on Rumble, or you can super chat by sending in a direct donation through PayPal, which actually PayPal takes the least amount of money, which is nice, even though I know PayPal, or I get it, PayPal has issues, but right now they haven't banned me. So yeah, if you guys
that's what they got going for it. That's what they got going for it.
Right. And you can find the PayPal link in that Linktree link. But go there, check out the I Support Indie Creators t-shirt, because honestly, I'd love to see it out in the world. And I have seen some people send some pictures and wearing it. It's really freaking cool. We had some people actually wearing some Drink with Crazy merch at the barbecue a few weeks back. That was awesome. I am apparently setting things aside and getting ready to build a bigger smoker, because if we actually do a bigger event next year, which is going to take I've already said a lot of cuss words and I don't want to get completely demonetized. Yeah, I found out if you cuss too much within like 30 seconds, they get mad at you. So I have done a holy schnart load of
that's why you wait 31 seconds
of putting things aside, probably building a bigger
Al's mom's no.
Well, Cartman,
mom's a big fat dog. I almost caught myself.
Ooh, I love that show, dude. I love that. I have unironically watched that so many times just to watch it. Just pull it up on my phone. I'm like, oh man, the good old days. Hey Daniel, how you doing, good sir?
I'm good, but my internet's a bit spotty.
Yeah.
The ridiculous storm on the East Coast has been messing with it all day long. So I'm a robot out in that.
Clean and
no.
And there we go. Hi, Evely. How are you?
At least it froze him on like a nice smile, you know. He's like,
I know, right? He's dude. It never freezes.
Oh, he's back. Nope.
Oh,
No,
he's
not
back.
back.
Is he back? Nope. Okay, there.
Like that.
I like it. This is gonna be good.
God.
We'll have to like finish each other's. Like if you freeze, I'll try to finish your sentence midway through.
All
I'm doing all right. Doing all right. It's been a crazy, busy couple of weeks, but getting some work done on some tracks and things like that. The storm also coming through here. We've lost power like, I don't know, 7 times today. And the thing I hate is it flickers, and then you go and you reset the clocks, and then you come back later,
we
and
lost
they're
power the
like,
other
wait,
night,
it's
actually.
not 1 a.m. What happened? Like, and then you do it again. It just keeps flickering. It's annoying.
Yeah. We lost power the other night, actually. And it was not good, but, it is what it is.
It happens.
So.
It happens. Weather.
Am
I right?
The biggest issue with me losing power is that I actually have an alarm clock that goes off in the morning and my cell phone that goes off in the morning, because one of them will not wake me up. And thankfully, I am so wired that somewhere around about like 4:45 in the morning, I had a panic attack in my sleep. Like, I'm late for work, and I woke up.
Oh yeah, I know.
So it's wonderful waking up to a heart attack. It's great, because that's how I am.
We have the
That's
black
part of waking up,
which is like even worse.
Well,
what time is it? I have no bearing of like reality right now.
Admittedly, that's when I needed to wake up. So because I wake up, I get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Welcome back to your impending death.
I feel really bad because I'm not even in bed by then.
Jeez. Royce's, that most people, roosters in the neighborhood, they cock-a-doodle-doo, and that's how they get people up. Royce actually goes and wakes them up on his way to work. He's like, hey, fellas, come on.
Hey,
yeah,
come
he was banging some pots on his way to the car.
Yeah, stop being late. What's funny too is there's actually a few people in my neighborhood that they are up and moving before I am, and they're getting ready for their day before I am, and I'm like, fuck, I'm lazy. It's like 4:45 in the morning, and these guys are already getting ready, and I'm like, damn, I gotta step it up. It's just hard-working Midwestern guys, though. They just, them old school guys that they're just like, yeah, that's what we do.
His favorite kind of guys.
Corn ain't gonna harvest itself, fellas.
Hell no, it's not, dude. Hell no, it's not.
Hey, waits for no man.
Right. And with that, and you guys saw the amount of cornfields around you. There were people that were like, Royce, where the hell do you live? I'm like, I told you guys, I live in the middle of nowhere. And
yeah, Kahuna's video was great.
That was awesome. He gets out of the. We'll talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, a brand new guest to the show. And this is something we've talked about for a long time about touching base on each other's streams at some point in time. And it just hasn't happened until now. But it's a good thing that it's happening now because this man has a book that you need to buy. But we'll get into that a little later. We've got Nick from the Phoenix Press. Too many words. Hi,
That's
Nick.
my co-host. Nick's is my co-host. I'm Nick. I get to it.
What's going on, man? How you been?
Oh, fun and dandy like side candy. I'm sorry. That's just how I always like to answer that.
I have my. Oh, no, he hasn't frozen yet. I can still see his muscles twitching. If he times it right, though, if he times it right, like right as the lights go out, he can get that really cool, like black. I'd be like, oh, because the lighting does really.
I was
cool
going for it, but it didn't happen. Everything started to flicker, but nothing went out.
Lies from your grave.
Now it's gonna happen when you do a retarded face, and then that's the clip that we get. Oh, man. Nick, you have been busier than hell lately, man, but how is everything? For those who don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Well, my name is Nick Gibson. I run the Phoenix Press. Most of you know me as a comic book guy. I'm very prolific in that regard. I got like the tub full of all my stuff right here. Know me as stuff like Turn Samurai, some Screecher stuff. You might have seen that around here somewhere. And yeah, I do a lot of comics. I released one already this year. Got another one coming out later this year.
Nice.
But I like expanding my horizons, and I have a book that I wrote. Started it in 2018, kind of put it down, but during COVID, I really picked it up, did the first draft. The problem was I knew I needed an editor. And those kind of cost some money. And then I realized, wait, I've already been doing this crowdfunding thing. Why don't I just crowdfund it? And so I asked them around for an editor, and my boy John Douglas recommended me the best damn editor on the internet. And so that's why I went with Royce.
It's true. It's true.
Sorry.
Nobody would believe that shit. They're like, really? We see his tweets. He speaks it into his phone and just lets it ride. Like
no. I've been working with Dan.
Dan works with everybody. People call him Dan, and it screws with me. I call him Daniel. Like
Yes.
It's so weird. Like when people are like, yeah, Dan. Like people were talking to me. They're like, yeah, I work with Dan. He's a really great editor, Dan. And I was like, who the fuck is Dan? And they're like, and people are like messaging me back on, it was Gilded at the time, and they're like, your co-host on Iron Age Nights, and my brain just, and I'm like, never considered that people would call him Dan. It just did not enter my brain at all.
You think that's weird? Wait till you figure out what the P stands for. I'll give you a hint. It's 7 syllables.
Daniel pissed off Riley.
Papadopoulos?
Oh, close. I think it was 5. There's a hyphen.
I'm sorry. There's so many dirty jokes, so little time.
There's so many.
That's why I don't tell anyone.
Daniel Peckerwood Riley.
Daniel P.P. Riley.
That's not 7 syllables.
Probably not.
You're right. There's only 3.
I'm sorry. It's Daniel Penis Peckerwood Riley.
Peckerwood. That's
still only 5.
It's penis Peckerwood.
You're arguing with an editor.
There we go.
This man wields the English language like
we will make the words fit, damn it.
Make it happen, Gavin.
Daniel Penis Papadopoulos.
That's way too many syllables now.
Probably.
You say that like you've said that phrase before.
That's 7. That is 7.
It is 7.
It's Greek for something. I'm not sure what though.
I don't know. Daniel Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
His name is my name too.
Oh shit.
It's whatever. What I've heard.
Oh god.
I mean, Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony.
Right. Oh god.
Put a feather in his cat.
There was I think it was the
He
Hollies.
wasn't riding on a horse.
The Hollies back in the day, they did were they 50s or 60s? I can't remember, but they did this song where they took a lot of the old school like like nursery rhymes, and they turned them into like it was like a 60s rock song. And I love the intro. I think it's the Hollies. I'm not sure, but they start off the song with like Mary Had a Little Lamb, and they have all this reverb in it, and it kicks so much ass because it's so different. Like my dad had the loudest stereo in the neighborhood when I was a kid, and he grew up in that neighborhood, so he knew everybody. So people heard Dad turn on his stereo on like Friday nights. And all of a sudden, the phone would start to ring. And hey, Randy, would you play this? So people would start. So my dad would just go up to his windows, open up the front windows of the house. And then shortly after, people started showing up with beer. But I'll never forget listening to just at decibels, no child should listen to. It starts with, Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. And it let the reverb fade. And I was like, oh, shit. He goes, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. And I was like, oh, shit.
Tambourine.
Dude, no, it was so good. Have you guys ever heard that? Have you ever heard that one?
No.
Nope.
It's so fucking good. I
me,
listened to a lot of classic rock growing up. It's one of it is so cool to just see what people can do with stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, man.
Like the original distortion sounds were made by like taking a razor blade to the tone of the guitar. Like that's what the Kinks did for like you really got me the original version.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and oh god, it was what was it? It was Zeppelin that was notorious for having like 14 guitars or some shit in a song. It was ridiculous.
Is that it?
They would just layer it.
Those are rookie numbers.
I know, right? But yeah, they would just layer and layer and layer, and all that tape that they would use because they were then, and then God bless the guys who used to have to put everything together on tape because they would get those strips of tape together and they'd have to razor them together and lay them together in order to get the final track. It was absolutely fucking crazy. Some of this
Can you imagine like Led Zeppelin their prime and they had Pro Tools?
Oh my god, dude! It like, see, and here's the thing: I'm not, and people can lambast me for this. I don't care. I absolutely recognize how amazing these bands were for rock and roll, but I'm not necessarily Led Zeppelin or like Pink Floyd fans. But I listen to all different like genres of music going all the way back to like the 40s and even like big swing stuff. And when you actually sit there and you start to listen and all of a sudden you get to that point where Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd enter the arena and music changes and it changes forever. And it's one of those things. It's like, are we ever going to see something like that again? And
I think the only thing closest thing was Nirvana. Nevermind pretty much killed metal overnight. I think that's the closest I would say it's come to it.
Yeah, well, I always say that grunge was
definitely a murderer.
Yeah, grunge was the detour we had to take. Because...
He was very proficient with a shotgun. Let's just say that.
Kurt Cobain had the best aim with a shotgun. Anyway, God,
sorry, Kurt.
Oh, man. Dude, my buddy back in high school bought his diary, and it was all in like the handwritten. And
I've read that.
Dude, I did not read it. Dude, I've heard he had some messed up thoughts in his head.
He did.
Oh man!
There's stuff where like I'm actually a huge Nirvana fan, and like if you've ever seen his art, it is insane. So I'm gonna try and censor this as much as I can. So, a friend of his came over and he's looking at like one of his paintings, like, "Hey, Kurt, how did you get that sheen on the painting?" And he said, "Well,
Oh God."
He cried on it?
Jeez.
Wow.
I mean, his friend downstairs cried on it.
Oh God.
It'd be funny if his diary was like,
I'm trying to keep this like
I get you.
PG.
I couldn't decide today if I should have spaghetti.
Tears of very brief joy.
He created his own varnish. Let's just say that.
It's always like a Pollock wannabe.
Dude,
basically.
no, like Kurt Cobain, like he had a lot of issues, which was it's weird if you actually look at a lot of like the big like prolific like a lot of the prolific 90s guys, a lot of those guys ended up taking themselves out. You know?
Yeah, Chester Bennington not too long ago.
Yeah.
A year after the Soundgarden guy, Chris Cornell.
Oh yeah. And yeah, no, and it was so weird. It's like that genre of music, similar to like comedians. You have to have, and it's kind of true. Like you have to have something like deeply disturbed, like inside of you to do music like that. And obviously, those guys, the fortune, the fame, the fans, none of it helps. Hendrix too, yeah. Hendrix.
There's always been a strong correlation between creative genius and mental illness. There's always been a strong correlation. I'm not saying
it's specifically, and it seems to be specifically in the arts when it's like a creative genius in like engineering and things like that, like more of the mathematical.
Those guys take out their families instead.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I think when it comes to like the engineering, that's more of a known quantity. Like like when you're an engineer, you're operating in a world of rules. You know, there's boundaries you can operate within. With creatives, it is like the epitome of abstract.
I'm fairly certain it wasn't OD, Justin.
I didn't know that.
What was?
Jimi Hendrix choked on his vomit. That's what happened with him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it was an accident though.
Dude, I found out when I found out that Hendrix, in order to make like God, fuck it, we're talking about it already. Okay, for the YouTube stuff out there, this is not a kid-friendly podcast. We are talking about adult subjects.
This is not made for kids.
This is not made for kids. 1,000%. This conversation is not made for kids.
Are we going to talk about sewer sides?
No, we're not going to talk about sewer slides.
I mean, it is painless.
Well, depending on what, but no, Hendrix used to take the acid needle and he would stick it into his tear ducts and inject it there because he thought it made it go to his brain faster, which is just objectively false because it needs to enter the bloodstream one way or the other, and it actually still has to travel around. But yeah, he used to do that. But I mean,
life before the internet,
dude, man.
Yeah.
But I still like Hendrix. Just some of the things and thinking about him as a left-handed player, and they didn't make left-handed guitars back then because fuck lefties. And he played a right-handed guitar left-handed and learned how to do what he did.
Kurt was left-handed as well, by the way. And all the other thing about Kurt is he did have some left-handed guitars, but a lot of his guitars were actually like strung to be left-handed. The right-handed guitar strung the other way.
Yeah, and that's a lot of times how lefties got away with it. But yeah, dude, it's so crazy to see. It's so crazy to see the people out there who they took a genre. We're obviously talking about music. They took this genre of the creative arts, and I'm not talking about genre of music. I'm talking about a specific like music creative art, and they spoke to people in a way that nobody had thought about. Because I mean, if you think about rock and roll, really. There were some deep and introspective songs, but a lot of it, especially coming out of the 80s. I mean, the 80s was the decade of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I mean, that's what was
the party decade.
Yeah, exactly. And then you come into this phase where people are thinking about these really dark thoughts. They're thinking about, Pearl Jam. And I absolutely can't fucking stand Pearl Jam. I just not a
it's just
I am
the warbler.
I am
I'm sorry. I can't stand Pearl Jam.
However, but I will say this, the song that he did called Jeremy, that one, like I don't like the band, but the song Jeremy, and you watch the music video and you're like, holy fuck. But it was speaking, I mean, but you think about it, the 90s, that's the generation of young men full of angst wanting to conquer the world, and there's no world left to conquer, you know, and they just have all these feelings.
Alexander looked upon the edge of the world and wept, for he had no world left to conquer.
Yeah. And and all of these guys, you could kind of see that they were all singing about the same thing, and that's where Jeremy comes in. You know, the song Jeremy, because I really think about the young men. You know, Fight Club came out back in that time too.
Yeah, like it's a '90s thing, like Office Space. Basically the prevailing theme of the '90s is life. And by the way, these are all Gen Xers. When you think about it, life is so good. There's nothing left to do. Like I find the '90s a very fascinating time of pop culture because we beat the Soviets. We had won the Cold War. Terrorism was just kind of boiling up. The '90s were like this peaceful period, and then 9/11 changed everything. So that's why, and like American Beauty also fits into that mold as well of like the angst of the restlessness of no villain to fight.
Yeah, you started and then from that you started getting a lot of like the pop punk phase. You know, you started getting guys like Green Day and Blink-182 and Sum 41 and stuff like that, and movies like that. And then you had like Lords of Dogtown. You know, that was a remake, obviously, but then you started getting a lot of these movies where like young men, were starting to, do so because young men had basically nothing to conquer. Then there was the big skateboarding scene in the late '90s, early 2000s, and they could conquer that because that was the X Games. Then you had
that was a movement. I remember
that was huge, dude. And then you had like Jackass. You know, like if young men, if we can't go conquer the world, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a hell of a time. You know, while we go.
Yeah, I think that's more of a 2000s kind of thing. Like with the American Pie.
But you see the transition of it all is what I'm saying is that, and young men went from wanting like not having a world to conquer anymore, which had been the prevailing feeling for decades and centuries before. They had nothing really in the 90s, but then all of a sudden the feeling went from, well, you know what, if we can't conquer the world, we're going to be jackasses and we're going to have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
And then now I don't really know what the feeling is for young
I would
men.
say with a lot of men, it's okay. Society doesn't want us. Fine, we'll just do our own thing. There's video games. There's the hub. We don't need society. We can just do our own thing, and we will be fine.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of men right now is. Just all right, fine. You guys do your thing.
Well, like, dude, I will say this: like, had I not met my wife when I met her, because I met my wife like 3 months after I graduated high school, and that was a very, very the trials and tribulations then. But 9 months into knowing my wife, she's like, "Hey, I'm pregnant." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Like we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it through this." I'm not saying that we didn't have our rough times because we absolutely did, but here we are 14 years later. But here's the thing, dude: had I not had that thing to fight for every single day, dude, God knows who I would have turned into and the road. Because I think about the things and the opportunities and the people that I knew and how easily I could have gone down a bad road.
And the thing is, all societies at wills can be traced back to the elimination of nuclear family. Like the 60s is kind of when things started to go downhill. You know what happened in the 50s? Birth control. And you know what started to happen in the 60s and the 70s? Easing up of divorce.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to go any farther because that might go into like a little more.
But I agree. And it's interesting to see how pop culture captures almost perfectly specifically the way that like young men are. And it's weird that pop culture, music, art, and things like that really do it. And you look at it now and you look at the last 5 years last 5 years, a little bit more, probably almost closer to 10 years now. Oh, fuck, I'm getting old. But it was a lot
Welcome
of
to
men,
my world, bitch.
Right. A lot of
wise, not old, wise.
Wise.
People are just getting younger. That's all.
Right.
Is.
Yeah. They're just getting younger. But a lot of young men, they were made fun of. They were told to sit down, sit in their place. It's not your time now. And what's so funny is that if you track how pop culture is. For some reason, pop culture will tell the story of the generations of young men in a way that, and now all of a sudden, which is kind of funny, it's now all of a sudden men are like, oh, we need to bring the badasses back. We need to bring the guys back. We need to
strong times create good times, whatever that phrase is.
It's good time. It is strong men create good times create weak men create bad times create strong men.
Thank you.
And so the cycle repeats. But it's really, I hate that that's true.
And like we're going back to the 90s. See, I'm 36, so I'm a bit of a fuddy-duddy myself. Like I remember those times where it's like, young boys, we were just bursting full of energy.
Yeah.
Before it'd be like, oh, you have energy? Okay, run around the playground a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But as it went on, it was like, all right, sit there. We're gonna shove Ritalin down your throat. We're gonna say you have ADHD, and all this stuff. And we're going to medicate you to the point where now you're compliant. See the girls? They're sitting there quietly. Why can't you be like the girls?
Mm-hmm. Dude, we started homeschooling.
Bad but true.
We started homeschooling because my oldest daughter is not like the rest of the girls. She's just not. She is not a girly girl, and she has energy. She wants, when she was younger, she wanted to get up and move and play and go do stuff. And we found out that the teacher, especially this one old lady, would sit there and scold her and just say nasty things to her because she was in kindergarten. And then they took a restraining jacket, a heavy restraining jacket that was meant for like autistic kids that were having like freakouts, and they would put this on her when she wasn't listening. And my daughter in kindergarten went from being very excited to go to school to crying, and we were like, "What is happening here?" And
that's abuse.
No, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, look, if she did something wrong, obviously, yes, a disciplinary action needs to be had. She didn't do anything wrong. She was just wondering, hey, it's gorgeous and 75 outside. Why the fuck are we in here? Why can't we go outside? And she's 5 years old. And she's right, by the way. Right? Because all of the crap that they were teaching these kids, we had already taught her, and she was bored because all the other kids were fucking retards because they didn't fucking... They literally would cover 5 letters of the alphabet every week, and my daughter was like, but I already know the alphabet, and I already know.
Like, how many times when we were kids, you'd have a teacher look outside and say, you know what? It's too nice of a day to be cooped up outside. Let's do our lesson outside.
No, dude, we had that.
Dude, even just sitting on a lawn and the teacher is talking, your kids are going to pay more attention because at least they're outside.
Yeah.
Or just going to walk with the kids. Like, there's so many other ways you can do this.
I had just, hey guys, let's go. Do you guys want to go outside and do the lesson today? It's really nice. And our heating system was always way too hot. And they're like, it's nicer outside than it is inside. But it's so fucking crazy that, and you're seeing this in pop culture, and it's so much, and it's just really funny to watch. Not funny in a ha-ha way, funny in an ironic way. But it's really funny to just watch. And now all of us who were sitting there and we were told, we were told by the older generation, oh, just go, make your money, boy, work hard and do your thing. And now all of us are sitting there going, okay, but what is there for my kids? And I think
nothing.
No, and I don't think that that's true.
I disagree as well. I feel like the future is entrepreneurship.
But we're gonna have to us as this generation, we have to fight against the pricks trying to steal it from everybody, and then on top of that, instill into our children, hey, by the way, you know how hard I worked when I was young and all the stuff that you see me have, and they're gonna go, yeah. I'm like, okay, you need to work like 10 times as hard.
I was going to say, though, if you go back to, like, our grandparents, like, my grandpa at 13 was in the coal mines and then, like, fighting in World War II or Korea. I'm like, I didn't have to do any of that, man. Run on my bike.
20-year-olds in the 40s storming Normandy Beach.
Yeah,
20
and
year,
even
20,
kids nowadays,
year olds in 2024 don't know what gender they are.
it's a different type of psychological battle, but at least it's not like, the Krauts firing lead at you or something. It's like, I don't know. Perspective's hard to teach generation to generation, but I think that there's some value there. And I think I don't know. I think it's very easy to fall into the like everything's dire and bleak, but there's so much opportunity. Like this tech right here is nuts. We're talking to them like
we are essentially radio hosts. We are radio hosts right now, and that's what and no licensing, no nothing. Like this is what we do, and this is and,
well, the FCC won't let me be.
So let me be me. So let me see.
We need a little controversy.
They try to shut me down on MTV, but I feel so empty without me.
God, that was great.
But to meet like-minded creators and people that you can meet, maybe your school doesn't offer that to you, but you can find people online and hang out with, and maybe even meet IRL, and in some cases if it's safe. But I mean,
history is filled with like new technology comes. The people who adapt to it and embrace it are the ones who succeed. Like, look at when online marketing, like online really started to shape, and like old print media died, or even just go back as far as the YouTube stuff. Like the early pioneers who really handled YouTube, they made a lot of money. Like for example, PewDiePie. He jumped on the Let's Play bandwagon pretty early on, and he evolved his content as things went on. My thing is, yes, things change. Yes, things suck. But you can either work with what you have or get trampled under the machine of progress.
Yeah, and I will say this: I would rather get trampled than believe that I can't at least try to make my own opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and maybe like I said, this never turns into anything massive, but I would rather work my ass off and know what I can't do, and die knowing that I tried and busted my ass to do something, then die and go, why didn't I do that? Like that seems like a terrifying thought to me. It's like, why didn't I do that thing? Why didn't I go after this thing? I don't, I could die tomorrow in a car accident. Don't know. But as of right now, I know it at the very least, yes, there are things that I want to do. I'm working towards those things. I'm doing what I can to get to those things. And at the very least, if I were to die tomorrow, I'd go, you know what? It sucks. It's ending today, but damn it. I didn't take no for an answer. And that at the very least, at least in that regard, in the creative regard, in doing that, as far as like a dad and husband and all that, I still think I have a long way to go, but at least there's one portion of my life where I go, no, I did it. I shot for the moon,
Yeah, because if you ever ask people on their deathbed, what are their regrets in life, it's almost always the road's not taken, the path not taken. Like, oh, if I'd only asked Marcy out, who knows? Or if I just approached, I was so dissatisfied with my job, I should have just asked for a raise or asked to be better because I got fired 5 days later. It's so and I'm with Royce here. Do what you want. Shoot for the stars. I don't know if my novel career is going to take off. I don't know if my comics are going to take off. But you know what? I would rather try and fail than never do it at all. Because at least on my deathbed, I can go knowing, hey, at least I tried. It failed, but I can rest knowing I actually tried.
You don't have that question hanging over your head, which is something that I think we really need to push to a lot of our young men. That being said, you did mention that you've got a book on Kickstarter now.
Yeah, so about taking that shot.
Right, about taking that shot. No, not that shot, guys. This shot right here, Lost Kingdom, a fantasy novel set in space. I could probably...
You said that way too sexy.
Space!
I'm sorry. Set in space.
Okay. Now you just made my novel seem gay.
That's what Royce does best.
I do these things. It's true.
You do?
I do too.
The evil that I do.
Oh, you got 20 days to go. You're at $971. I will get this project shared down below. There we go. And so, obviously, you've done some projects before. They've funded before. But what exactly is the Lost Kingdom? And how are you combining fantasy and sci-fi?
Well, the best, it's kind of right there in the title. It's a fantasy novel set in space. So it takes place in the year 4000s. Earth has been abandoned for some time. We've settled our solar system. Mars is kind of the new Earth, and they've kind of also settled the moons like Europa, Io, Titan, stuff like that. They're even starting to settle like the Alpha Centauri system. And
really?
Yes.
That's cool. Alpha Centauri has always intrigued me.
And so it's in the year 4000s. Earth has been long since abandoned. Yet you can still find White Claw all over the place. It's actually the favorite.
Nope, and we're done. We're done with this interview.
My Royce loves it so much.
Fucking hate.
There's plenty of White Claw in space.
God.
Can I just say I had 2 people tell me to make that joke. 2 people. I'm not gonna name names because I'm not gonna rat out my homies.
John A. Douglas, and I don't know the second, but I know John A. Douglas was one of them. Because I don't know who you know, but I know John A. Douglas is absolutely one of them, and he's gay with orcs.
White Claw will survive the destruction of Earth. And it's
fuck!
Like, and you can find it on Mars. You can find it on the moons of Europa. In fact, in fact, if you go to the bar in Alpha Centauri system, which is 4 light years away from Earth, you can order a fresh new White Claw.
I hate you all. So
Water? No.
much.
White Claw? Yes.
No. I hate all of you. Apparently, there's still White Claw hidden in my house somewhere that my wife and I still haven't found. We gave up. We've got too many projects going on. Eventually, people are going to be like, have you found it?
You
need to do like a Fallout playthrough, but every Nuka-Cola is replaced with White Claw.
No,
well,
I do
you know what they say? You don't find the White Claw. The White Claw finds you.
No, fuck that shit. It is horrible. It's fucking horrible. Seabets, I'm gonna put White Claw in my sci-fi space odyssey now. And I hate all of you so much.
Maji-chan,
Dan, I want you to take a note. On further revisions, we are adding White Claw to this book.
I hate all of you so much.
And I am gonna add a character called Royce who is specifically drinking a White Claw.
I hate
worth it.
Dan, please take a note. Please.
Oh, fuck, you were the other guy that made the White Claw joke. Damn it. Fuck you, Daniel.
Oh, okay. No, it wasn't Daniel. I'm not going to out the other person.
Ha ha ha.
Daniel.
I'm the red herring.
I'm the red herring. I hate you all. So, yeah, guys, it's a fantasy novel in space. It includes some White Claw, which is objectively the worst thing that white women have ever created. But you know what? He had to get woke and include, a white woman creation in his book. That's how I'm marketing your book.
Actually, it was created by Anthony von Mandel.
I fucking hate you. The fact that I swear to fuck, if that is a real thing and you actually looked up with who created it, I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah, he also is behind Mike's Hard Lemonade through his Mark Anthony
that
brands.
sucks too.
I can't wait till you read this book, Royce, and you get the portion where and the bartender said, "Another White Claw, Royce," and he says, "Yes, that is my favorite drink."
And that's when Royce got into book burning. I'll video that. I'll be like, yeah, this book's just trash, and burn it. And I'll just leave that. And then here's the thing: I'll start a flame war online, and everybody's be like, "Why are you burning Nick's book? And they'll you'll know. I won't give context. All of you will know.
Yes, Dan. Yes. But that might actually work better in John's book. But
I figure we could kill 3 birds with 1 stone.
I hate all of you. I hate all
birds,
of you.
man. Love birds.
Oh God. You need to.
Which, by the way, I am doing that now. By the way, just for you, Royce.
I hate you so much right now. I don't even want to talk about your book anymore.
Too bad. You have a job to do. Get on with it.
Fine. Well, no, it's technically his job to talk about a book, and he's been talking about me and White Claw for a while. I don't know how the fuck.
Okay, fine.
And
Getting back
over
on
the
track.
audience.
So this cover was done by my boy Xevious, and he did an amazing job.
That looks really good.
Yeah. He did the front and back cover, as you will see. So anyway, we talked about the setting. The story itself, if you're familiar with the hero's journey cycle,
no, I've
basically
never heard of it.
Well, fuck you then.
I don't talk about it ever.
So basically, I'm doing a hero's journey story, set from the mentor's point of view. So in layman's terms, otherwise for the idiots, it's Star Wars. I don't know why, but I'm in savage mode right now. Oh yeah.
For those of you too stupid to understand big words.
By the way, just for everyone knows, my tongue is planted firmly in my cheek.
Oh god. I thought you were going to say something else. Never mind.
You would.
I mean, if I wanted you to reach across the screen and punch me, then sure.
No, I don't want to buy a new monitor. I need to buy a new monitor. That might be a good excuse. Like,
well, you should buy my book instead.
Yeah. Shut up.
But anyway, it's like Star Wars, but from Obi-Wan's perspective. And you have like this chosen, there is like a chosen one, but he is a complete and total rat, just like Royce.
I fucking hate you. What the fuck
Best
did I
show
end up here?
ever.
It's a mannequin thumb.
There's the back cover by Xevious. He knocked that one out of the park as well.
Dope.
Yeah, the ships are amazing.
Oh god, I think it's impossible for Xevious to do a bad image. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, he's done a bunch of my other stuff. Like he did this other cover he did for Issue #1, and he also did another one in the Samurai comics. But getting back to this beautiful thing, so it stars the mentor person is a man named Justin Lamont, and 15 years prior to the start of the story, he was the Captain General of the Royal King Guard. And the king was getting old, and his bastard child Elric did a campaign to usurp the throne. The night the capital fell, instead of staying there and dying like he should have, the only honorable thing to do, he chose to take the royal starship and flee, betraying not just his king, not just his country, but also his honor and most importantly himself. So this book is basically an exploration of, sometimes we make like life-altering choices in a moment, and even if they like go against our own personal self, and we regret them, all the kind of like you say the wrong thing to a woman you love, and now she hates you, or you decide to get into a car with someone, and they get into an accident, and you're paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
You decide to go on a podcast with Royce, and
I fucking hate you so much. This is why they were like, no, we've got to have Nick on the show on Friday. Like, we need a guest. Like, no, Nick is a great guy. We've got to have Nick on. Yeah, I was like, yeah, guys, no.
I very much enjoy that Royce is full of energy and just getting absolutely roasted today.
I fucking hate all of you people.
Well, at least Seabass is enjoying it. So
gay as fuck.
That's all that matters. Like, nope.
Oh, that's what I get.
I'm going home.
Well, if there was more pictures and stuff, we could do it. But anyway,
well, it's a novel. If you want more pictures, go to the kids section of Barnes and Noble and get a fucking coloring book.
Or I'm just throwing this out there. I could buy from like the 30 and 40-year-old men that are making picture books on Kickstarter.
I will say it's an interesting choice. I haven't seen too many campaigns.
I make picture books on Indiegogo
now. I haven't seen too many without a trailer. That's an interesting choice. Why no trailer?
Well, it's lack of materials. Because like this is a novel, and creating a trailer would require creating a lot of concept art. I spent I kind of blew all my budget on ZV's cover, to be honest. I don't want to say how much I spent, but let's just say if this was 2019, I could probably get a pretty decent used car for the money I paid.
Jeez. Wow.
Well, you seem to be doing fine without it. It's interesting. I've never seen a campaign like that.
Oh, normally I do trailers. It's just I kind of blew my budget on CV's cover. Money well spent, to be fair. So I didn't really have enough money to commission other people for.
I gotcha. I was just
images.
curious.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's a fair question.
Where did the concept come from to do kind of like a, I don't know, Star Wars from an Obi-Wan type story? It's like, yeah, there is the chosen one, but I'm not the chosen one. I'm his mentor, and it's
basically, I've always kind of like been into like the mechanics of stories, but really it kind of all started with the sci-fi meets fantasy, like kind of watching the Thor films, because the Thor films have really interesting like world building where it's fantasy, but like you have a hover chariot, or like their staffs have lasers, or like take Stargate, where you have like this ancient Egyptian tech, but it's also sci-fi.
Yeah. And
like that kind of stuff just kind of fascinated me. And so I thought it would kind of be like imagine, like, you know how like all those space stations where like they're cylindrical. And so instead of modern buildings, it's like medieval Interstellar, like the end of Interstellar.
Why can I not remember the name of the cylinder? It's a what the fuck is that
Someone's
noise?
buzzed.
There's a word for it? I thought it was called space cylinders. Is it an O'Neill cylinder?
No. Yes, it's an O'Neill.
April?
Yes, no.
April O'Neill cylinder. No, it's a Sam Neill cylinder. It's a Sam Neill cylinder.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
where we're going, you will need eyes.
Dyson sphere. I'm like, that's not what a Dyson sphere is.
No, we're not going to Titanic.
Oh God. Anyway,
the ocean has gate kept us long enough.
Yeah.
So true.
Are the aliens coming? Probably. What is that noise?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I for one welcome our xenomorph allies.
Oh Jesus God, no. No, you shoot the xenomorphs.
I'm just bursting with excitement.
I would say this. I wonder what kind
Earth is for people.
I wonder what kind of like if aliens did exist and they could traverse the galaxy. Like, how primitive would our kinetic weapons look?
I don't know, like
because
I've seen some sci-fi where, like, obviously the War of the Worlds, they get defeated because of viruses. But you could also make an argument that our weapons might be more effective because society is built around the weapons of our time. Like, our armor is built to resist bullets. But what if you have a society that is built to resist laser weapons? And the concept of physical projectiles are non-existent. So, like,
yeah, but I feel like there are steps involved to get to laser weapons before, because there's physics and science and whatnots that, like,
yes, lots of stuff you have no idea about.
I mean, I have some idea about them, kind of.
Yeah.
He's a redneck. He would figure it out.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Yeah, I know that.
I'm going to build a laser out of the back of my truck.
It's a freaking laser beam.
Oh, kind of. You would actually just have to take
like John said.
You would have to take a microwave apart, get it, and take a microwave
Dune
apart,
has a shield
generator, put a lead shroud around it, and then you have a basically you use the magneto from the inside of a microwave, and then it's basically just a directed energy weapon. But you would have to
wheel that truck back around, flash your ass, and light them up.
Like,
I'm going to be honest, if you actually hit that at somebody and it was a directed energy weapon, again, having a lead shroud to do all that, and you had two people on the back just hit the buttons and you actually had the energy to do it, you're basically just cooking people with cancer at like 100 yards. It's well, no, probably not at 100 yards. You might get 50 if you're rednecking it. You're probably not getting 50.
So you're doing long distance fourth washings of the
Depends on how many car batteries you hook up to it.
No, you got a generator, bro. This is gasoline powered. Yeah, no, energy weapons are very interesting, but they, again, require a lot of energy. Kinetic weapons require very little energy.
In space.
In space.
Oh, God. I literally was thinking that in my head when John posted it.
Wrangler has a clip for that ready to go.
And there it is.
Yeah, but for some reason they just keep starting wildfires with it.
I can't remember. Was it AOC or MTG? I can't remember now. Or MGT.
MTG. Yeah,
okay.
It was Mark Green.
Oh, it was okay.
I always wondered what a shoulder mounted rail gun, like what kind of force that would have. You ever,
the kind of force that would rip your body.
Half.
Do you want us? Do you still want to have the shoulder by the time you're?
No, because like even if you're doing like
one.
highly, just say super powered magnetic propulsion, that energy still has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Like just and stuff like that. Like
typically the foundation of the weapon, which would be your body.
Dude, oh my God, that tested. Yeah, we don't.
What happened to Reggie?
I'm ready.
It was just there.
Turns into a fine mist.
Oh, this is a terrible
and the trials are like, okay, please mount the energy weapon onto the truck now. What about Johnny? I don't. Who's Johnny? I don't. We didn't have a
Johnny.
We don't use real names here.
Burn this paper. Burn the camera and the SD card now. Lieutenant Royce, you ain't got no shoulder.
Little chip wafer. Oh
God. I love it.
This never happened, and I was never here.
That never happened. I feel like our military does that a lot. They're just like, we didn't do that.
This is going to be the next generation of war.
Sorry, go ahead.
None of this happened. Go home.
This is the next year, right? Go home. Go home.
Oh, this person was on paper. He's supposed to be halfway across the world, yet here he is in Nevada on a test site in the desert, and he has cancer right now. We don't know what happened. We just dumped him off in Rachel, Nevada. He's society's problem now.
Yeah, he's just Royce is leader of Rednecks, the Redneck King. Royce. No, our next IAK comic book. Let's do it, Riley. If Daniel wanted to collaborate with me on a comic book idea, I actually have one that I think would be really fucking. We'd have to find the right artist for it, but I actually have a lot of the story filled out. I did it like a couple of years ago. But yeah, no, I have one, and it's definitely heavily inspired by kind of like 80s action, a little bit of comedy in there, just stuff from my friends. But yeah, I have a redneck style book that we could do. But anyway, I digress. It's not about my book tonight because I don't have a fucking book.
It was me, Barry. It's all about me tonight.
Is that a CW Flash reference?
I think it's like it's worse. It's direct-to-video Flash reference.
Fat bitches can't fly shirt drawing I sent you. Oh, is that you, Roland T?
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, no. Okay, and to be honest, I had no idea what was going on in that photo. Like at all.
I do have a design for that shirt. I just have to post it so you can see it.
Yeah, we need to send it to us privately because if it's a cool design, I want to work on behind it. Yeah, I was totally confused.
I'll drop it in the Discord later.
Yeah, drop it in the Discord. I was totally confused what was going on in there. I had zoomed in and stuff, and these guys had seen some things in it before I saw it. I was like, oh, okay. There was a lot going on in that image, and it was one of those that it was like, if we were going to put that design on a shirt, we would want people to be able to easily recognize what we were saying very quickly. I mean, you could do two things. You could do a comic panel of like Superman standing next to a fat chick, and he jumps off and takes off in the next panel, and then she tries to jump off, and then when she lands, the sidewalk cracks underneath her, and then you
Way
just have
too
fat
busy
bitches.
for a t-shirt.
So,
But
It goes on all the sleeves. It's a long sleeve, and it's all of them are quadruple XLs, and it goes all the way around. You got to spin.
It's just a 4-panel comic. He's standing there. He takes off in the next one. She jumps in the third one, and on the fourth one, she lands in the concrete cracks, and underneath it says
4
fat
shirts.
I have a message from John.
Stand together with your buddies, you know.
He has a message I want to pass along to Royce.
Uh-oh.
Stay on topic.
No, fuck you, John.
Stay on target.
It's all
Stay
on target.
I have no target. What the fuck? I go with the conversation.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's how I am. I just like talking to people and having conversations. And so
clearly.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's really funny.
Royce comes from the school of speak,
so
don't think.
I'm sorry. I watch all of the analytics on our channel, and I watch when the chat gets most excited. And it's really funny. When we talk about the books for a little while, people are like, oh, this is really cool. And then eventually people leave and they drop off. But when you bring the conversation back around to just us bullshitting, all of a sudden the chat's just like, oh, this is really fun. And they hang out for longer. And then we can circle back around to the back. It's almost like I've been paying attention to the
How
veterans.
dare you know what you're doing? How dare you be a competent
Shut the
host?
fuck
How
up!
dare
It's not
you?
what I said. Don't tell the chat that.
Is it called orbiting in the business? Since we got a sci-fi.
No, that's
This man knows what he's doing.
Shh. No, I don't. I'm a redneck. There's a difference.
Yeah, we all know that's not true.
Fuck off.
Wait. So your wife is your cousin?
Jesus Christ. No. That is that's actually not a redneck. That's a hillbilly. There's a big difference. Good sir.
There's a difference.
Yes. Yeah, there's a.
It's true.
I should know. I should.
There's actually
I should know
legitimately
my
there is a
parents
difference
are
between a hillbilly and a
Kentucky.
redneck. There's
Is
a
this like
difference
goth and emo? Is it one of those?
no.
No, it's like
No.
goth, and then there's like clown goth.
Okay, Royce, your next video. That's the topic.
The difference between hillbillies and rednecks.
Let's see.
Yeah. Well, one of them fucks their cousins, and the other one doesn't.
I thought that was just called Royal Blood.
Which one?
I've seen Game of Thrones.
Jesus Christ.
Are you saying the land?
They weren't rednecks or hillbillies. They were having at it.
There is no difference
Funny
between
enough, the
emo and
royals back in the day
there.
were like, we need to keep the bloodline pure, and boy, through that's not how genetics works.
It certainly creates some interesting jaw lines.
You know, I'm looking at one versus the other, and I'm getting different ways of it's the same definition, just spoken 2 ways. So I'm looking forward to your video because I need to be educated. Apparently,
one plays.
I thought I
banjo,
knew.
The other one fucks his sister.
Oh God. No, so rednecks will drink cheap light beer that they can buy at the gas station with their very expensive lifted trucks and live in a decently nice house. Hillbillies live in the middle of nowhere where moonshine is heavily brewed, where it's not just cousins. Sometimes it's their sisters, and it gets really, really weird. And there's a lot of teeth missing. They've never done meth, but they don't live healthy lives. And when they come to town, you know when a hillbilly comes to town because you can smell them. And it's not good.
Are hillbillies just American gypsies?
No.
Daniel knows the difference too. Like
sounds like gypsies.
There is a staunch difference between hillbillies and rednecks. It's quite
no,
terrible.
but in Europe, gypsies.
Hillbillies and gypsies.
Sounds like a European
gypsies
redneck.
no. I've met gypsies here in the U.S. too. They're just wanderers. They're just people that they pick up, move from town to town, hang out there. I've met a few gypsies.
I want an anime.
They'll come in. They'll fuck some people's wives, maybe impregnate a few, and then they leave.
Or they are the gypsy girls and they are the home wreckers, and then they just leave. And it's like, wow, that's weird. You find a lot of those people at the Renaissance festivals. So I'm dead fucking serious.
No comment.
I am a Oh, Daniel, I see that you have partaken in the gypsies.
I have.
Wow.
And
thank you for reminding me.
And Daniel, has your manhood turned back to a normal color from purple?
I use protection. I'm not an idiot.
I'm not an idiot. Wow. And now I'm like, hey, we should talk about the fucking book again, because how did we get
my Machiavellian scheme?
And now everybody in the chat's gonna be like, no, we need to hear this story. Daniel, no, reason that I know about the gypsies
and then I woke up and I could not find my pants.
Yeah, my wife used to work at the Renaissance Festival and hang out with all the gypsies and stuff. So, yeah, that was before I met her. But then we went back to the Renaissance Festival. Like, oh, hey, you. And she was like, yeah, I'm pregnant now. And they're like, weird, you're going to be a mom? And they looked at I'm like, you've got a past.
When she says, like, oh, I've slept with him. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't,
Dude, no, my wife has her teenage years were she can tell a lot of the stories in funny ways, and then when you hear some of the serious stories, you're just like, oh, like there's some dark shit in there. There's a lot of lost and looking for yourself stories. There's some funny stories in there, but a lot of it was a young girl who was looking for something real in her life at all, in any way, and drugs and sex were involved in a lot of that. And we found each other, and it just, we clicked and we changed, and but that's just, and it's a kind of a funny thing. There's just a lot of shit there. Again, you get into like life and stuff like that. It's like, but yeah, it's an interesting tale. A tale as old as time, right? Yeah, no.
And the Beast.
Well, yeah, and then I found out recently that apparently big titty goth girls and emo girls go after redneck boys. Like, this is a thing now. I didn't know it was a thing. My wife
because they want that strapping lad.
Yeah, I don't know why my wife just stares at me while I work, like in brutally hot sun, just building shit. But I'd be outside just sweating my ass off like, this motherfucking God. And I'm just trying to get the fucking thing to just sit where I need it to, so I can, I'm like balancing one end of the board with my toe, the other end with my hand, trying to get the screw to go. And she's just looking at me and she goes, God, I love you. I'm like, what the fuck are you staring at right now? I am hugely pissed.
Well, the problem is, it is, if you're even like normal weight and decently looking, you have your pick of the litter, because we've had at least 2 generations of single mothers ruining a lot of boys, and then all the girls go, where are all the real men at? And like the few guys, like these strapping young lads, they get the pick of the litter.
I have somewhat come to the conclusion, and it's just things that I've heard, is like, if she asks you, can you do this thing? And you say, yeah, I just thought about 3 different ways I can do that thing, right? She's like, hey, can you build this thing for me? And you're like, yeah, which way do you want to do it? Do you want to do it the cheap way? You want to do it the expensive way? Or do we want to find somewhere in the middle? And she's just like, and you're just like, I have all of, yeah, right. And then on top of that, if you can do that and also about 10 seconds later make her laugh, that is what I have, that is basically how I have run.
It's white girl kryptonite.
Yeah, that's how I've run my relationship. I can make her laugh, and then on top of that, I now have to build a fucking rabbit enclosure next year.
So if you can build a fence, make her laugh, and then later that night give her a screaming orgasm, you're good.
Jesus Christ.
If I go too far, please tell me. I don't know my limits.
Dude, we have gone so much fucking further on this show before. I think we were a few deep in, but no, no, it's funny.
So you're in too deep.
Hey, shut up. Sum 41's a great band. I love
They
Sum
are.
That's right.
Actually.
That's right.
I mean, I'm still waiting for this world to
Hey, there we go.
So am I. God, that's such a good. I was
Oh,
actually listening to
good.
Sum 41. Sum 41 is in my regular playlist. Love that band. No, keep going.
Rock
The
is what
show
we're
is
all about.
only
What we live
good when
for.
Royce
Let's
is
shout
screaming.
it out.
Oh fuck, dude. No, like I said, it's interesting to just sit down and kind of bullshit with the boys and have conversations like these, because it's like, oh, these are the band conversations. These are the ones you're not supposed to talk about. You can't say that. Can't talk about all of that stuff that, you know, used to be in. We're now a Manosphere channel. Absolutely the fuck not, really.
Oh, let me shave my
You
head.
always
Let
were.
me shave my
I'm sorry,
head
that
and
shit
get a really
pisses
expensive
me
pair of sunglasses.
off so fucking bad.
If you're
like,
not
oh,
sunning
Andrew
your
Tate, the
balls every
manliest of
day,
men. I'm
what
like,
the
dude,
fuck are you doing with your life?
Andrew Tate is an online pimp.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
worse than that.
he's a real
Worse than
life.
that.
Yeah, no, he's an actual pimp. He literally, like, that's what he does. He literally, like, hires young girls and then runs campsites.
He's a sex
for them.
trafficker.
Yeah,
No,
that's what
he's a sex.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think there's pimps and there's sex traffickers. I think there's kind of levels.
I mean,
of
I
this.
think they're the same, to be perfectly fucking honest. But yeah, no, it's like,
what's like the Jordan Peterson sphere called then? If I thought that was the same thing.
You do realize
Kermit?
that Michaela? You do realize that
No,
Andrew
we're not.
Tate? You
Kermit's
do realize that Andrew Tate fucked Jordan Peterson's daughter, right?
did he seriously?
Yeah,
All right,
you didn't
bad
see, you didn't see
example,
that. Like
then.
Michaela actually went to visit Andrew Tate, and there's like a picture of Michaela sitting on Andrew Tate's lap. Like, they don't say it, but it's like, come on, he visited her for like a few days. She's on his lap. But
So,
you know,
Yeah,
man advice channel, is that man advice sphere? That's what I was trying to get at. I just didn't know a cultural touchstone to make it connect to the to everyone.
John A. Douglas, how is Nick's books just like a female orgasm? Both are a fantasy. You're not working hard. You're not working hard enough if.
Or is this sci-fi fantasy?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're not working hard enough if the orgasm is a fantasy. Anyway, moving on.
Sounds like you
fantasize, at least it's half real.
What's up? I didn't hear that. There was
Sounds like you speak from personal experience on that one, sir.
No.
Sounds like you found out the flaccid way.
No. What the fuck? It doesn't work like anyway. Jesus.
I have notes on like sci-fi and like.
This is why you don't engage with wordplay with a writer.
Not anywhere near like what I was expecting.
I'm near the northern edge of Jersey Shore.
Move on with the conversation before it goes.
At least somebody's familiar with edging.
Oh fuck! Jesus Christ! What the hell happened to this conversation?
Well, I mean, you know,
just said,
space has black holes, doesn't it? Right?
To quote Tim Allen,
why's it got to be a black thing?
You guys are talking
does
at
she
the
look
same
like
time.
a bitch?
What the fuck? Oh, fuck,
I had to
dude.
channel Andrew for a second. Why's it got to be a black thing?
Oh shit!
It depends on if they look like a bitch or not.
Oh fuck!
I don't know.
I said, do they look like a bitch?
Do they? What was the book about? And will Royce be in it? It apparently I'm drinking White Claw in the book.
Nice.
Yes, I have added. I have had. Daniel, did you make the note?
Yes, I have the notes.
Fuck you guys. How many books am I in at this point?
You're gonna be in all of them, sir. You'll be in all of them.
Like
and I've worked on most of them.
Yeah, I fucking know.
There's a correlation there, I bet.
I know I'm in at least 2 comics, and I wasn't cameoed in a book, but I was referenced in another one. I can't fucking whose was it? I can't remember.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with Goatnator, but everything else I've been working on.
Fucking, I hate. He's in every.
Everything.
I am the Matt Damon of fucking book cameos at this point.
You are the Mark Shepard of book cameos.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
You know, the bullshit part too is like up until he became just a memeable character, he was a good actor back in the day.
I mean, he still is. Have you seen The Martian?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah, is it?
I do have to say my favorite scene
good actor.
is the Project Elrod scene.
What's up?
In The Martian, like there's a scene where they discuss Project Elrod, which is like this project to get him off. Do you want get him off Mars?
Phrasing.
Sorry. Yeah, exactly. But do you know who's in that scene and discuss and basically has to explain Elrod?
No.
To Kristen Wiig, Sean Bean. So it's Sean Bean explaining like Lord of the Rings to Kristen Wiig's character.
Hilarious.
And by the way, Sean Bean doesn't die in this movie.
The other movie he didn't die in was National Treasure.
Also, he doesn't die. He's in Pixels, and he doesn't die in that one either.
Oh. So I will say this: the best thing that I ever heard was that Sean Bean ended up getting into a bar fight with a dude where he broke a bottle over a guy's head while he was drinking at a pub, and I was like, I love this man. This is awesome. Like,
can you imagine if like he got into a tuffle and someone killed him? Just imagine being the man who killed Sean Bean.
What? Yeah, everybody'd be like, "No, you suck!" But also,
you're supposed to die in movies, not in real life,
right? He didn't die in Silent Hill. Was he in Silent Hill?
Never saw it.
I love that man.
I have not seen.
It was awful. It was awful.
That Silent Hill movie was not good. It was not.
That's why I didn't see it.
I saw it with my wife. My wife loves that movie. It's one of her like cult classics.
At the very least, the movie is probably going to be better than the Silent Hill 2 remake. At least we know that already. Have you seen the previews?
Wag.
No, I don't want to. I don't.
No. That the girl's face went like this.
Dude, here's the thing. Remakes, redos, recastings, all that. I'm just like, I'm kind of over it. It's believe it or not, it's actually the thing keeping me from seeing like Deadpool 3, because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't like the second Deadpool. I really didn't. I thought it went
too campy.
It was a major step down. Not to say it didn't have its moments. It had a couple of moments in there. But the third Deadpool movie, I'm like, oh, you're getting an almost 60-year-old actor who's roided out as fuck. I mean, you're getting, Van Wilder again, because he's always fucking Van Wilder. He is. I have yet to see a movie that
the
Ryan
Blade
Reynolds
cameo was cool, Raw.
I will say this though, if you've ever seen The Ryan Project, which is a movie he did on Netflix, he's actually very on like he's very toned down in that movie. And it's a good movie, by the way.
He's never not Van Wilder. He's
got Chevy Chase syndrome. Chase was always Chevy Chase throughout his entire career. Ryan
Reynolds. There is a term for that. It's called the persona actor. Like,
it's called the
Rock
perfect
plays
role.
A Rock in every movie.
Yeah.
Man.
Like there's actors who have a persona. Like what's his name? Scarface.
Tony Montana. Fucking
Antonio Banderas is not the right answer.
Al Pacino.
No. Al Pacino always plays Al Pacino in movies. Like for example, his character from Scent of a Woman is not that much different from his Godfather. I am not in true form tonight, but
dude, no, I just like I said, everybody. And it's hilarious. I saw this post on Twitter, and it was like, oh, Hugh Jackman in the first X-Men movie, he's walking through that and he's got his shirt off, and they're like, Hugh Jackman now, and they're like, how does this happen? Everybody's like, can we just stop fucking pretending that these guys aren't on steroids, please?
Oh, but don't you know they eat turkeys, they do Pilates.
No, they're on fucking steroids.
He takes cold showers every morning.
Yeah, that's fucking great. The guy's on fucking steroids. He's also almost 50, and they had to fucking modify the suit. Well, I actually also believe somebody said somewhere that he actually had a minor cancer diagnosis and had to get treatment for that and lost a lot of his ability to lift weights and stuff through that. But I'm like, guys, do you know why that this is happening? I'm just saying. It's because we're casting old motherfuckers to play these characters. Like, stop. This is one of the things that just shows me that our young people have no fucking movie stars. They have none. Like,
So
have
true.
you ever watched movies?
I mean, I think
every single actor in Hollywood ever cast in film, with the exception of child stars, who all end up fucked up by the time they grow up,
I wonder,
are at least 5 to 10 years older than the characters that they portray.
I'm not even talking about that, dude. But I remember when new actors and new stars came onto the scene. Like, everybody jokes about Matt Damon. I think all of us kind of remember when he was getting, bigger and bigger as a movie star. A lot of us remember, again, Hugh Jackman. We talk about X-Men. A lot of us remember, Tobey Maguire, when he got his break. A lot of us remember when new movie stars came onto the scene when we were younger, and we're not getting that anymore.
I disagree.
You got Zendaya and Tommy Champagne.
There's more. Sydney Sweeney.
Oh yeah,
I don't know who that
Glenn
is.
Powell.
She's got big boobs.
She
That's
does.
all you need to know.
Oh, is that the bitch that everybody's like, oh, like this? Wow. Yeah, and that's the only fucking reason people like her.
Jenna Ortega is also another one. She's a star.
My
Wednesday.
wife has big
she's in
tits.
something
If I
they
want to
like.
see big tits, I'm not gonna fucking.
You're not a 12 to 20-year-old unmarried guy that's looking for a new movie star, Royce. This is for the next generation.
That's,
what I'm saying is,
that's
there
actually
are
a fair argument.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And Tom Holland, while he is starting to get older himself, he is a bit of a newer face. So there are newer stars coming in, but you're right. For about 10, 15 years, we didn't really all the new stars that came in. They did a few movies and they cycled out. I think Sydney Sweeney is for the first time in a long time, probably since Emma Stone or Jennifer Lawrence, that we've had this kind of fanfare for some of these people.
The first.
What?
Jennifer
Oh
Lawrence.
God! Oh
First.
fuck you! Fuck
The
you!
first of everything. Where's the flag?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Jennifer Lawrence is the first female action star. Didn't you
She's
know
the
that?
first
Yep.
everything.
No. Jennifer
She's the
Lawrence
first
is the first
of
movie
everything.
star.
The first.
She was
She was the
Jennifer
first
Lawrence was
woman.
the first woman. Yeah.
She invented StreamYards.
Yeah.
So
she
I
makes-
remember
yeah.
Sigourney Weaver.
Just a
she did this
fallacy.
inter-
There's only Jennifer.
So Sigourney Weaver, one time, she did this interview in 1989. She was talking about her career in Alien and Aliens, and she said flat out, "I have to thank Jennifer Lawrence
Obviously.
because if Jennifer Lawrence did not star as Katniss Everdeen
So true.
in 2013's Hunger Games, I would not have been able to be Ellen Ripley in 1979's
most-
Alien."
Fucking hilarious thing is they did that interview totally fucking seriously, and that was just some PR fucking bullshit that they gave her. Somebody wrote that for her, and she was just giving the fuck, because it was all pre-scripted, and when they saw that, they were just like, oh fuck. She probably,
And they let it go anyway.
She probably went to her manager and was like, what the fuck did you guys make me say? Because I don't believe that any of these people are stupid, but they are trying to play the game.
Oh, no. Wait, no. That's the right one. She dropped out of school in 8th grade and then stopped. I think it was public school, so.
Wait, what?
She might be an exception.
Wait, I'm confused.
No, I believe she's an idiot.
Maybe. I don't
That's
fucking know, man.
That's what I was getting at. I don't think it was her agents. I think she's just I'm going to say this. I know things.
But and then I've seen the pictures
You're
and
watching,
stuff
Jennifer. You're very
from
talented.
fucking Deadpool. And
No,
it's
you're
it's oh, we've got Wesley Snipes back as Blade. I'm like, okay, an old man. And they're like, oh, we got Jennifer Garner as Elektra again. I'm like, okay, an old woman. That's cool.
She can barely move. I'm sorry, I've seen the movie, and Jennifer Garner can barely move around as Elektra.
Yeah, I wonder why, because she was Elektra 20 fucking years ago when she was in her 30s.
I will say
Mhm.
Wesley Snipes moves around pretty well, but that guy's a martial artist, so he's been keeping himself in somewhat of a shape.
It's like, what did they showed
I don't know. That suit looked CGI.
they showed
But didn't you know there's only been one Blade, and there only ever will be one Blade?
but
Well, yeah, the
again,
new
I
movie
see all this
stalled.
stuff and I'm like Deadpool is a superhero movie full of geriatric people.
I kind of want to see it now. Actually, hearing like all these people show back up and they're like got walkers going and stuff.
I'm
Like,
like,
I kind of want to see that.
Deadpool.
Also, can I just say this?
Deadpool 3, let the geriatrics commence.
Also, I need to say this. I need to fucking get this off my chest. So Channing Tatum is back as Gambit. That suit looks fucking ridiculous. I get that it's comic accurate. It looks fucking ridiculous. And I'm sorry, like his accent is like I get like it's a joke of the Cajun accent. Like John, back me up here. You're Louisiana. You eat
Channing Tatum is
He's not handsome enough.
He is not a good actor.
He's had like a few good performances.
He's like, I remember him in the original Step Up movie, which I actually will still argue the original Step Up is actually a pretty decent fucking movie.
I prefer Step Up 2.
Random Saturdays.
Step Up 2 was fucking garbage. Go
Got
fuck
some time
yourself.
off.
That movie fucking sucked.
Don't diss the streets.
Oh, fuck off. That movie was...
I mean, we all know Royce was made for the streets, so he's just being defensive.
But I don't know where people got this idea that Channing Tatum was any sort of a good actor. Like, I
think he
just
kind of
that he's
had
tall and incredibly.
He had Megan
good
Fox
shape.
syndrome.
I mean,
he was good looking. He moved well. Magic Mike basically.
Yeah, but that didn't make him
otherwise
a
known
good
as female porn.
I heard that movie doesn't even have any magic in it. Just for the record.
I mean, the magic. This is where the magic in Magic Mike happens.
Have you ever seen white women
That's not
watch
a
Magic
wand.
Mike? There's a lot of magic happening. when
They
white
make
women-
clothes disappear, Justin.
But do they like have like a wand or?
They
Don't answer that.
They can magically make underwear damp. They make
I'm
they can make a woman's underwear dry.
I'm just gonna say.
My
I'm
pants.
just gonna say things may or may not have happened in my house after that movie shut off, and my wife was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Oh, really? Really? Wow. Oh, whatever. Like, let's go."
You're like, I don't care. I can have sex.
I was like, this is why they call it Magic Mike. Thank you, Mike.
What if his name was like Jeff?
I don't know.
Magic Jeff.
I don't know.
Magic Dale.
Oh god,
Doesn't
it's
work as well,
like,
does it?
Alliteration.
No,
He's not.
It's jiggling Jeff.
Magic Mark.
Magic Robert.
Magic Marky Mark.
Doesn't work.
Celebrate good times.
I struggle to find actors anymore, like especially when it comes to superhero films. I'm sorry, I don't like seeing old people as superheroes.
Oh, I thought that was the end of the sentence.
No, I mean, no.
Ageist.
Right. I'm sorry.
Dare
I
you.
just
How
have an
dare you.
issue. I just have an issue with it.
I
Like,
find
and there
wrinkles triggering.
because there are so few people that can actually pull it off. Like, I think the only person who can still actually pull it off, and he's even getting to a point where he's gonna start breaking down, but it's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is one of the few guys who can potentially still pull off the action hero thing.
Well, that's because it's the
He'll
frame
be
that
fine
Tom
as long
Cruise
as he keeps
Tom
bathing in
Cruise
baby's
basically
blood.
keeps a runner's body. Okay, Tom Cruise is not like Jack to
Yeah.
the freaking moon. He kind of keeps a more lean frame. Like
yeah.
he's known for his running, so he keeps a more of a leaner frame, and that has probably helped him. Like, I'm sorry, like look at Batista. Batista went off the gas and he deflated like a balloon.
Oh god, yeah.
By the way, credit to John for noticing.
Well,
that.
and you're even seeing people like, and if you watched Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, like, don't get me wrong, Stallone is actually a phenomenal, even at his age. Like, when he is on screen, he owns the fucking scene every time. But there are a couple of scenes in that show that are a little bit more physical, and you can see that they have it. But again, the guy's almost 80 now.
Mm-hmm.
And but you can see he's slowing down. Even as jacked and in good of shape as Stallone is, he's still almost fucking 80. Those fine muscle fibers are just not where they used to be. And it's just one of those things that I'm like, I'm sorry, when people are like, "Oh my gosh, we're seeing, Wolverine in the fucking in the blue and yellow costume from the comics." First of all, look at the fucking comics. That's not what the fucking costume looked like. Second of all, yeah, we're seeing an almost 60-year-old fucking man play the character that a 30-year-old man should be playing.
You want to know what's funny, though?
Fucking tired of it. I'm fucking tired of this shit.
As you were talking, I was thinking about the movie. So in like the climax, he has like the cowl on, and like his shirt, basically his whole chest area, like pops off, and he's freaking shredded. But through that whole sequence, he's keeping his mask on. My theory is that's not Hugh Jackman. That's actually a body double.
Guaranteed.
And that's why he's keeping them, like, because throughout most of the movie, the most you see of him is his arms. Like, you don't see his chest area, and the one time you do see his chest area, he has the mask on. And by the way, there's like another scene after that where he's still like shirtless. He keeps the mask on the entire time because the logic is through.
Well, and
like,
didn't they get Henry? Like, I mean, it wouldn't be much to say that Henry Cavill could have done it because didn't they get Henry Cavill to look like
the Cavalrine?
Yeah, but again, Henry Cavill is he's starting to get old enough to where like he's gonna age out of being able to do this. Like it's just like
I know what you're saying.
Right on the edge, he's 39. Like he's 39. 40.
Oh, that's it.
But again, so he's got what, another 6, maybe 7 years of being able to be physically athletic before, because again,
before he has to start hitting the gas.
Yeah, before you talk to anybody in their 40s, like people are like, yeah, like guess what? The body starts to fucking do weird shit in their 40s. Yeah, talk to Daniel. He's old as fuck.
I am.
You aren't. But I understand your point, Royce. We need a new generation of like action stars, like
you want to know what's
strong men
not
and
old as fuck?
Pretty growls and all that.
Not old as fuck, but is actually fresh as fuck. My novel.
Yes.
Well played. Well played, good sir. I like that. That was awesome. No, and it's a okay, so you've got Lost Kingdom. Yes. So you've got your Obi-Wan character in this. All right, who
Justin.
Talk to me, Goose. Who do you get to play your character? Like if your book hits it big, all of a sudden you're getting a Hollywood deal, you got movies coming in.
I hate that
what
question.
What age is your guy? Who are you getting to play? Shut the fuck up, Daniel. This is
Justin is basically kind of in his 50s. In this.
Oh, so you could actually get an older actor to do it.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like an actor in that age range. Oh gosh, I'm having trouble.
Do we still want to pretend that Liam Neeson is an action star? Can we do that?
No.
No.
I want to say Keanu Reeves, but Keanu Reeves is he's starting to get up there.
I mean, he in the first John Wick, he was able to pull it off. Now I'm just like, we're entering farcical territory with the John Wick.
I mean, at least with the John Wick, he's mostly just running around with like a gun, so like the physical activity is not as bad as some other films. Yeah, like he could not look at the Matrix. He could barely do the Matrix 4.
Oh,
I mean that movie doesn't exist, but still.
Yeah, have you seen Keanu's videos on the range? Dude's got some skill.
Well, but the thing with guns, it's not as much movement. That's the other thing. And plus, he doesn't have to get shredded, so that helps.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
There's not as much toll on his body. Like the action he has to do is a little bit more minimal. It's mostly just like gun stuff, and plus he's wearing suits the entire movie, so it's not like you're seeing his abs. So he doesn't have to like get shredded, so it's not as much of a toll on his body.
Sorry, I kind of went off on the whole, like, we've got a lot of old actors, and we just won't, like, we're not replacing them with younger actors. And the younger actors that were, like, 10 years ago, they're not, I mean, what's Jennifer Lawrence doing now? Like, what are...
Well, see, the problem with, like, young actor stars is basically when it comes to, like, the female actors, it's like, and they're active in their 20s and 30s, they disappear, and they're, like, when they hit, like, 45, they disappear for about 10 years. And then when they're 55, 60, they come back to play the mom roles. That's how it works in time immemorial.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I think one of the only actresses that really never and I could be completely wrong about this, but just the one that sticks out in my mind. Why? No, come on, brain.
The one that sticks out in my mind is
Meryl Streep definitely has been active for a very long time.
No,
and Betty White as well.
The blonde one from the Charlie's Angels reboot.
Cameron Diaz?
Yeah, it is Cameron Diaz.
Disappeared. She disappeared like 10 years ago. She's barely been anything for 10 years.
Has she? Because I remember, but she went from being the young, attractive girl in the movies. Yeah, Cameron Diaz. I don't know why. I was like, no, for some reason I didn't think, I was like, no, that's the wrong name. I thought of that name and I was like, no, that's the wrong name. What are you thinking of? But she transitioned into doing like mom roles and stuff like that, like early in her career with what was it with what was the movie? She played the mother and her daughter was like suing her parents for her own bodily autonomy. So her sister didn't like, it was an interesting family movie.
I don't watch stupid things, so I have no idea.
It wasn't a stupid movie, actually. It was really, really good.
One actress that I'm surprised dropped off was Jessica Roberts. Because she was on fire in the 90s and even the 2000s. And she's actually a really good actress. Like, I don't know why she just kind of dropped off the face of the earth in the 2010s.
I mean, well, and like I said, we're not really replacing a lot of these actors and actresses. I mean, like Scarlett Johansson was one of the last kind of like wave of female actresses to...
Hollywood always has an it girl, whether it's like ScarJo, Megan Fox, Emma Stone.
Megan Fox came and went so fast. Like, she's in the tabloids now, but what the fuck was she in recently?
Well, Megan Fox got replaced by Jennifer Lawrence. And then, like, Emma Stone was kind of, like, there for a little while. I'd say Sydney Sweeney is kind of the current Hollywood it girl kind of thing. But they usually have a shelf life of 5 years max. I mean, Emma Stone is still doing stuff here and there.
Yeah.
Like, I think she was recently in, like, that one Oscar bait movie.
I'm telling you, they're trying to make Zendaya and Tommy Champagne happen.
I'm sorry, Zendaya, like, she's...
I don't
like her. She's not a good actress.
I don't. She was in the Spider-Man movies, but I don't know her in anything else.
I think Timothée Chalamet has a future. I think Timothée Chalamet is actually a pretty good actor.
I love that I can say Tommy Champagne and you know who I'm talking about.
I have no idea who that is.
Also Dune.
He was Paul Atreides in Dune.
I have not seen the Dune movies.
And the new Wonka movie that sucked.
Yeah. Whenever I see him, I'm just like, I want to give him something to eat.
I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio is basically the George Clooney of our time.
Anya Taylor-Joy, she's everywhere.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is
No.
that?
She's the one with like the alien face.
Furiosa. Yeah, she's got Tommy Champagne thing going with her face. It's like
I think it's like the buccal.
There's like no fat at all in their face. I don't know if it's Ozempic or what. Yeah.
Hey, Mario.
We were watching the other day. We were watching a movie the other day. Oh, my kids. It was like the story of like Timothy Green or something like that. I can't remember, but
yeah, I know that. Remember that one.
But it's a cute kids movie. I mean, it's nothing really to write home about, but it had Jennifer Garner in it. And she was a little older. She was kind of playing like the older mom role, or not older mom, but like the middle-aged mom role in this movie. And my wife was like, "Oh, she's aged very well for age." I was like, "The fuck she has." I was like, cheekbones don't rise as you get older, and I am so fucking sick of seeing as these women get older, their faces get skinnier and their cheeks get bigger, and I'm like, that's not how that works. And I'm like, I see the plastic surgery on some of these women. And I'm like, why are you destroying yourself?
Her plastic surgery,
fantastic.
Like, you can tell what it is, but it didn't like really destroy her face.
It's all Barbie's fault.
So the problem with Jennifer Garner is, even with the plastic surgery, you can tell like the years have not been kind to her.
No.
Dude, the problem is Jennifer Garner seems to have like the perpetual
they did
frown
like
on
that close up like on her face for because I've been seeing it everywhere on Twitter. You can see the like, you know, the wrinkles around her lips and stuff like that. She is like, everybody's like, oh, she's aged so well. I'm like, I think if you take the makeup off, it's going to reveal a very different story.
I mean, she doesn't look bad for her age. But for a movie
and
star,
that, yeah,
yeah.
and that's fine for a movie
By normal
star.
people standards, yes, she is hot. By movie star standards, she looks okay.
And again,
Yeah, I was going to say, neither did Judi Dench until she did.
I mean, the thing with Judi Dench is, she kind of embraced playing the old woman.
I said duty. Had too many whiskeys.
Oh, fuck.
See, there kind of comes a time in every actress's life when they need to kind of just accept the fact that, like, okay, you're an old lady now. You can play the old lady roles. And those who do, they can actually kind of carve out a little bit of, like, look at Betty White. She was active in Hollywood till she died. She was almost 100 years old.
Betty White is such a... It is... I think that the term is an enigma because you just don't see that very often. And she was... And here's the thing, is Betty White was fucking fantastic.
She was everyone's favorite dirty grandma. That was her niche.
And she was fucking great. One
of my favorite Betty White jokes.
Who played Whistler in the Blade movies?
Chris Christopherson.
Chris Christopherson was one of those guys too. That Christopherson, like I've seen him in, like, I saw him in the Blade movies. You've seen him in cowboy flicks here and there. You've seen him in like family movies as the wise dad. Chris Christopherson was one of those guys, like on the other spectrum, like if Betty White, like, you know, she was really good in a lot of the stuff that she played. Like Christopherson's fucking fantastic.
Same thing with Sam Elliott.
Oh yeah, Sam Elliott. Dude, I will say this. I didn't think I could respect him more than I did. But seeing that show, The Ranch, that they did on Netflix with like Ashton Kutcher and Sam Elliott. But dude, well, here's the thing. People want to know how rednecks out in the sticks fucking live. Go watch the first few seasons of The Ranch before they kick off Rooster. But I'm telling you, I watched that show, and my dad and I would talk to each other, and we're like, holy fuck, that was literally a Tuesday night. For like, I'm dead serious. That show is so fucking accurate to just country living and how people.
And can I just say, Harrison Ford needs to quit acting. Like, I'm sorry.
Like fucking 15 years ago.
Like in Force Awakens, he was sleepwalking through that movie. If you look at the trailers for Brave New World, he is barely awake, and it's like his voice barely. His voice is like a dull monotone. Like, he's always been a bit droll with his words, but at least he had some emotion behind it.
Dude, again. There are certain characters who've been able to. Oh, did Daniel do it? Wow, he actually.
Oh, we got the Iron Age Queen in the chat.
What's going on, Mrs. Snow? No, but again, like I said, I don't know why it bothers me. Hey, he's back. I don't know why it bothers me so badly that like people are. That they're bringing a lot of these actors back, and I'm like, but where's the young generation? Where's the younger guys coming in? You know, showing where
been devoured to prop up the olds.
Like, look at Chris. Even Chris Pine is starting to show his age. Like, I love Chris Pine. He's a great actor, but if you see stuff in, like, you can see he's starting to get older.
Dude, it's fucking
And I like Chris Pine. I think he's a great actor.
And I'm wondering where the talent is in the younger generation, and that's probably what we're looking at here.
I think it's like, gatekeeping more than anything, honestly.
Well, also the thing is, Hollywood tends to import a lot more talent because, like, if you notice, like, every young actor is British nowadays. Like, that's kind of been a thing for a while because Britain still has like a big acting scene, and like there is, like, you ask anyone in Hollywood, they will tell you there is a big difference between a British actor and American actor.
Oh yeah,
because a British actor loves their craft, while American actor is more for the fame and the looks.
Like, you got 380 million people and editing. Like, there's gotta be some talent in there somewhere.
I have heard that a lot of it has just been given away to like nepotism and stuff like that.
There's a definitely
and a lot of the American actors, if you don't go to the right art college and you don't have the right parents or the right friends, it doesn't happen for you. Period. And And that's the thing is I have heard a ton of times that actors and actresses are chosen, like people who are like, look, I had to stop working in this because like there were absolutely people who were 1000% right for the role, but for pick a fucking reason, whether it was politics or we didn't know them or they didn't go to the right school or whatever it was, we didn't choose the right person for the right role.
Look at the live action, the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie. The woman who played Katara was Nelson Peltz, the guy from Disney, was his daughter. Besides, we all know Legend of Korra is better anyway.
Got him.
You mother.
He said the thing.
I literally.
We all know Korra's the greatest Avatar. She can beat Aang in a fight with one hand tied behind her back.
That'd be interesting. I've never actually considered that. As an Avatar goes, she has more.
Well, if you want to get serious about it, Korra was definitely more of a physical Avatar. Aang was more of a spiritual one.
Well, that was the point. Like the biggest thing that and most people didn't make past season 1, and I know why they didn't because Korra's fucking irritating as shit.
Yeah.
The difference is that they wanted to show the opposite personality type of person having to become the Avatar because Aang was a humble kid, just wanted to have fun, but then he had to become. Aang didn't want to be the Avatar, had to become the Avatar, and lived in a world that wanted him as the Avatar.
Korra, they went a little bit too far.
Korra, very brash, very annoying, total opposite of Aang. She wanted to be the Avatar in a world that was kind of moving past.
I'm the Avatar, and if you don't like it,
Yeah, and again, they were but here's the thing.
Look at me. I'm the Avatar now.
I watched the show and I was like, oh, cool. They're trying to show the absolute contrast to Aang and like bring this person back to the middle. Because like if the Avatar is in the middle and like, oh, you're either too humble or you're too brash, and everybody like the Avatar has to be this character.
And the thing is,
and I think a lot of people just really didn't like. I think the show gets a lot of unjust shit.
And the thing if you look through the Avatar cycles, there's always like a action reaction kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Avatar Yang Chen was like, yes, I'm an Avatar fan, by the way. So Avatar Yang Chen was like really deep into like he focused really hard on I think like the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of left an unstable world, and so Kurok had to pick up pieces. Or you want to go to Avatar, the one before Aang.
Kyoshi. If you want to look at like Kyoshi.
By the way, the Kyoshi the fans have in their heads is not the Kyoshi that actually exists.
No, it's not. But Avatar Kyoshi was kind of a, she was kind of a badass. She was a take no shit type of Avatar.
Yeah, her thing was decisiveness.
Yeah, and then you're talking about Avatar Roku. Before
Avatar Roku, like his thing was he was too passive. He should have killed his friend, but obviously he didn't want to kill his friend.
And tried to teach that lesson to Aang. Like, dude, I fucked up. Like my whole point was I watched a show and I just disagree with the take on the internet that it's this feministy woke bullshit like 7 years before any of that was even a fucking thing.
In the early 2010s, it was starting to.
It was. Fuck
the
off,
thing I love about.
Hey, you guys all joke about it. Oh, we're gonna bring up the Korra thing. We're all gonna joke about. Oh, fuck, they're actually having a serious conversation. Well, this is fucking boring.
Yeah, like you actually find another person who's also a fan of Avatar who can actually
Well,
the reason I love Last Airbender is the ending. Is everyone's telling Aang, you need to kill Fire Lord. You need to kill Fire Lord. He's like, but that's against my morals. I love that he found a way. That is such a great moral lesson.
Didn't bullshit. He did not find a way. He was fucking given a way. And that has always fucking bothered me. Is that he literally falls asleep, wakes up on the back of a fucking lion turtle, and the lion turtle's like, oh, by the way, here's this magical power that unless you fucking talk to me, and the writers specifically carve out this episode that does not fit into the fucking story, Unless that happens, Aang does not get the power to take away. And
Okay,
he doesn't figure it out. He doesn't go read some scrolls. He is literally fucking plot armor fucking handed it to him, and that has always fucking bothered me because he didn't have to figure it out. It was fucking handed to him, and
that's modern writing in a nutshell.
I fucking
Daniel,
hated it, dude. That was and it
Daniel,
was
I'm gonna need your help with this one.
I
The problem with modern writers, a lot of modern writers, is basically a solution, a problem in search of a solution. Is the writers they write for the moments, like that was the problem they happened with Game of Thrones, where like they have this cool moment in their heads, and they're like, okay, I gotta get to this moment, this cool moment in my head. I gotta get the dragon swooping in, and I gotta have her like come out of the smoke or whatever. Or in the Avatar's case, we want to have this cool scene where he defies his morals. How do we do? So they have to bend the plot, twist it all,
I hated that.
It's like Daniel, back me up here.
No, you're not wrong. It's pretty common practice in newer television and film to script specifically for the bullet points. That is to say, to script for the things that the audiences are going to want to watch. You see in a lot of the behind the scenes videos these days where they talk about scenes that got cut and left on the cutting room floor, when they show them, they're infinitely better than the actual film or show.
Yeah.
As far as the audience is concerned. And that's because they're looking for things to put in the trailer to get people to buy, not to enjoy.
Yeah, and if you look at like the scenes that are cut, whenever a film is trimmed down, the first thing to go is the character development scenes. Or like the connective tissue, the stuff that explains stuff.
Yep.
Those are always the first thing. This scene is boring. It's just two people talking. It's literally like the most important scene in the movie.
To a certain extent, that's true. But there needs to be a better pacing in modern entertainment. That's been its biggest issue.
So I was thinking about this a couple days ago because I just ended up finishing the Death Note anime, and I was listening to the story. And
go watch the Netflix version.
No,
Good.
But here is what I was sitting there thinking, and I was sitting there and I was like, man, just the elaborate thinking and the multiple phases and deep thinking that it would take to set everything up the way and like through the entire series that this writer had to do, and I'm like, because narratives are only as intelligent as the people who are writing the narrative.
Yeah.
Correct.
And when you get somebody who is actually, can actually think in, they're a second, they're not just a first wave thinker, but they're second, third, fourth, and even deeper than that. All of a sudden you start to get stories that are like, are compelling to people, because a lot of people they'll start thinking about, how is this going to happen? Why is that going to happen? And this person is already 7 steps ahead. And when Death Note concluded, or it was in its final scenes, and I was watching it, and they're kind of, and it's the big monologue. Oh, we figured this out. Oh, we also figured this out. Oh, we did this. We did, and it's this gripping moment where you're just hearing the two. It like Death Note is the best fucking. Yu-Gi-Oh match that I have ever fucking seen. And I am dead fucking serious, because it is just a constant fucking series of people. Well, you unveiled my trap card. How did he know that I laid that trap card? It's fucking Yu-Gi-Oh on crack, right? But instead of, where Yu-Gi-Oh was
Exodia!
Yeah, but where Yu-Gi-Oh's were cards and the life points were fake, in Death Note, the monsters are men and the life points are real. And that's kind of how I equate this. And I'll do that. I'll talk about that in my review.
Sounds like whose line is it anyway?
Pretty true. Death Note was designed to be chess with real people, but just in a fictional format.
And it was done in a masterful fucking way. I just got done with Code Geass, and I'm sorry, Code Geass is nowhere near fucking Death Note. Like,
No.
It's they're not even in the same fucking league. Like
I never
No.
finished Death Note. I got halfway through it, and then I tapped out. Was that a mistake?
it was a mistake. I
The mid to third act is kind of a slog, so I don't.
The second act. Technically,
Yeah,
it's the
I
second
don't
act.
hurt. I don't fault you for bowing out.
Yeah, there's a
but
narrative dynamic that didn't seem like it was going to continue. I guess. I don't know,
Yeah,
maybe it comes back. I don't know,
payoff
but it
is
seemed
worth
like
it.
okay.
No, the payoff is worth it, but it does stall out there for a minute. It does, but
Yeah.
But again, going back to it with what Nick was saying is that a lot of writers they write to do the thing that we've got to get to this really cool scene for the fans. But again, they're not intelligent people writing these stories anymore. And
True.
when you actually get a person who has
Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
What's up?
No, I said Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
Iron Fleet.
I'm sorry, I was quoting that
Thrones
like
reference.
we're really cringe behind the scenes for Game of Thrones season 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never watched Game of Thrones, and so my wife got really into it. It was around it was season 7, and
Oh
so
god,
she.
that's the word. Oh god.
No, so what happens is, so she gets into it, she watches all of it, and then season 7 airs, and I'm like, oh, it's fucking, and they're like, oh, it's the last season of Game of Thrones, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna, if I'm gonna get into it at this point, I'm not going to binge watch 7 seasons and then do the weekly catch up. I'll just wait until season 8 is done, and then I'll start watching it and just binge the whole thing. And yeah, dodge that bullet. And then season 8 came out, and I saw everybody talk about that, and I was like, I'm just gonna not and say that I didn't, because
What really sucks is I've been watching House of the Dragon, which is like the spinoff. The first season was good.
yeah,
This second season had they went down the cliff real bad.
I know what it's like to follow a show for years and then just watch it just get horrible, because I'm a Supernatural fan, and the first 5 seasons of Supernatural are some of the best television to have ever been created.
Yeah.
Yup.
I will even I will even say and possibly up to season 10. I think they were still somewhat strong. Season 8 for sure, but season 10. But after season 10, I just got to a point with the show. I'm just like, you have ruined everything. When they brought, but again, I've seen so many shows that you get invested in for years, and that's part of the reason that I'm so withdrawn on getting invested in any of this shit. I'm just like, okay, when's the fuck up gonna happen?
Yeah, and that's the problem with Game of Thrones. Like the early seasons are legit peak TV. Like you go back and watch like seasons 1 through 4, or just any scene, and it's magic. It's literal magic. Like the word, like the dialogue, all the stuff. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But you go to like past season 4, like I think season 6 is like kind of like the last like season that some people say is kind of good, but they basically ran out of material at the end of season 5.
Look what happened to Walking Dead, dude.
Walking Dead never had a premise to begin with.
No,
I am so
Thank
glad
you.
I never got into that show.
You're the only person I know that also wasn't a big fan, DPR. I thought I was alone.
I never got into it.
not-
People tried to get me into it. I was like,
And I actually kind of liked the concept because it opened nihilistic. The world was shit and there was nothing you could do about it. But I knew after the first 4 episodes that this show had no point.
Yeah.
It was literally just for the dramatics.
I see what you're
yeah,
saying.
I mean, the
But-
whole thing about The Walking Dead was the humans were the real villains of the show. And
Yeah.
I think that kind of what hooked people. Like the zombies seem like they're kind of an afterthought in that show.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, the comics Queen Snow were legit much better than what we got on television.
Oh, they deviated. They did halfway through the first, or no, it was season 2. Season 2, hard deviation from the comics, and they never.
Well,
went
there's
back.
there's
They
a reason. for
really
that.
barely used it as a source
Yeah,
material.
they really did.
Well, here's
Really
the
fucking-
problem though. They actually had like a big time Hollywood director create the show and do the first season. And then after that, they fired him and brought someone in because they wanted someone cheaper. Like that's why I think a lot of people say after season.
There
2,
was also the
dropped off.
writer strike, which is why the production transferred to Georgia.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, like
And-
that's why like season 1, like people will swear by that, and then like afterwards it goes down. Which you want to know one thing you can swear by? Might not the Lost Kingdom.
I was just sharing it in the fucking. I was.
It's
just
almost
sharing
like
it.
I saw you share it, and I instantly went into that.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, there's a
Even
link
though I
in the
am,
chat. If you want a good novel without the bullshit, please back my novel Lost Kingdom. It's actually really good.
That is.
yeah, you really should.
By the
That-
way, you can be a character in the book.
Yes, that's
you
the
guys.
coolest thing, dude. I
Please,
love
for the
when
love of
authors
God,
do that.
somebody like become a character in the book other than me. I haven't backed the book, and apparently I'm still fucking in it because I'm fucking special. God,
So
I hate
yeah,
you
I'm
fucking
saving
people
I'm
so-
saving Royce some money because he's the king.
I fucking hate you so much, right? With that being said,
I'll say this
continue
though.
your outro, sir.
If somebody wants to get the character and then say, I don't want Royce to be the White Claw drinker I want to be, I will accept that.
Please,
So-
for the love of God, somebody do that. For the love of nobody's gonna. No, that's not the way to get people to buy your book, though.
We
'Cause
need
they
a
won't do that.
description of like a Clint Eastwood type, where he's like, "Hey, pass me the White Claw."
I fucking hate
I walk into the bar and a person who looks like they're 2 days from death's door, who looks like they could really use some steroids, who looks like his wife left him for another man 10 years ago, says, "Pass me the White Claw." I say, "Really, Royce? That's your 5th one today. It's the best drink in the solar system."
Oh fuck, man!
I like mine,
Oh,
but I'll do
Nick,
whatever
where-
you ask me to do.
Nick, where can we find you? What do you do, man?
All right, so you can find me on Twitter or X at the Phoenix Press. I promote my shit. I shit on other people. I need to shit on Ringo Crazy more. This is too much fun.
I fucking hate you.
So also
Yeah,
find me
it's
on
fucking-
YouTube. Just search the Phoenix Press. I do like game streams, live streams, all kinds of stuff, and then I got a Patreon, Phoenix Press, Instagram. I'm on Global Comics if you want to read my shit. I do Screecher. I do Turn Samurai. And I also have a really good book called Lost Kingdom, which you should totally read.
You should do
And
that.
Daniel is my editor. I don't think I ever said that the entire stream. Daniel is editing this
Yeah,
shit.
you did. You
so-
said it very like the first, like early on. But yeah, Daniel is editing this
It's
book.
been alluded to a few times.
It's been.
So I know the book is in good hands if Daniel is the one steering the ship.
Oh, God.
Damn right.
No, Daniel's my
Oh.
navigator. Mario, make back the book, and I promise to go full troll on Royce.
God, fucking. That might actually get you sales.
Guys, guys,
Can we get Samson the goat in here? Can we pay for that?
okay, I'm $29 away from $1,000. If anyone
Nice.
backs the book
He
right now,
bets everybody
I
likes
promise
being in my
you.
hands.
I will put the Royce scene in, and it will be cringy as fuck. And this guy will grow. So if you go back and we get me to 1,000, 2/3 there. I will guarantee 100% put the Royce thing in there. So somebody,
Or H says,
So
I backed
somebody-
it already, do it now.
somebody get me to $1,000, and I guarantee you, I will troll the shit out of Royce with somebody.
Make him.
I love how Royce
I like
is
this plan. Let's do it.
Emily Music, what do you do? Where can we find you?
All right, so I am Justin. I make music under the band name Evely. You can find my music on all streaming platforms. I got 3 instrumental chiptune rock albums. My new releases they're metal, but it's like a third melodic death metal, a third post-hardcore, a third pop punk, and a third Japanese rock. People tell me it's life-changing music, so if you want your life change, you can go check it out. That's the best music they've ever heard.
I
It's what
thought the
people
first
tell me.
time you had
People
White Claw
tell me.
was life changing.
I fucking hate all these
There's
so much.
yep, same thing.
I
It's
hate
just
all
it's
of
just
it so
it's
fucking
the
much
if,
right now.
actually I'm not
I
gonna
just-
I almost pointed
just-
it. Okay.
nothing is right in the
I'm
world
sorry,
It's
I
the
just got
best
off.
music they've ever
Possibly
heard. No,
thinking
you're
about
fine.
jumping off of a bridge, speed bump
From a
in
guy
traffic.
who's
There's just
got a
lot of
lady's name.
things. It's
So
just-
go spin it, share it with your friends. I got new releases coming up soon. I'm working on stuff for Calta, although it's a
trying to
secret. Sorry,
swim with
Calta.
rocks around my
Macapan,
ankles. That'd be a-
Chill Kid, a couple
Spoilers.
things. and thrash track and some other stuff. I also co-host the Iron Seas Tuesday nights with Bat Sauce, as well as the Ultimate Kahuna and AC Pritchard. We watch a movie, we talk about it. There's storytelling, writing, fighting. We have a good time. Tuesdays 9:30 Eastern. There's hasn't been yet, but hopefully, maybe one of these days we'll get a little.
You break those out when Royce comes on the show. That's when you break them out.
That's what I'm hinting at. One day we'll get a little White Claw.
It involves bat sauce. It's implied that there's White Claw.
Maybe substance abuse is the way to go out. Just a bottle.
I think we broke him.
I think we
broke him.
And with that, a million thanks to our guest and hail the chat.
Mr. Daniel P. Riley, what do you do? Where can we find you?
As most of you know, I am Daniel P. Riley of whimsyland.org and the editor of Lost Kingdom by Nick Gibson, our guest tonight, as well as many, many other projects. I'm also quite drunk.
On White Claw?
And I think I'm just going to stop there.
What are you drinking tonight? You drinking High West tonight?
Are you drinking White Claw?
Yeah. Been drinking my whiskey quite
you know
religiously
That's one
today.
thing I will say this that I regret not doing is I didn't do a glass of High West with you when you were here.
I bought that whole bottle of bourbon and we never got
dude.
into it.
I know.
I drank most of it.
I know. I'm aware. No, but it was one of those I wanted to have like one glass because I don't do hard alcohol but I wanted to do one glass with you and we didn't do it. And I was like, damn it. So, but yeah, guys, go check out gsidibooks.com. If you guys are in the if you guys are in the Discord, hit him up if you guys are looking for writing and coaching services. He does that. He's going to help you make your book absolutely fantastic. He also does editing as well.
That's true.
And I have heard.
And if you want more White Claw in your novels, you get.
I fucking hate all of you so fucking much right now. And ladies,
promo code Royce for more White Claw.
Oh, promo code this dick. Fuck you.
Wow. If you take a photo of him to your local convenience store, they'll give you 10% off of a sixer of White Claw.
I hate
But only blackberry flavor.
Don't be naughty.
None of that pineapple.
Just so many things.
None
Maybe
of
it's
that
fire. Maybe I could just douse myself in gas.
Will you stop mumbling into the microphone?
Oh no, if somebody enhances the audio, they're gonna hear the dark shit that I've been saying. Like, they're gonna be like, oh
Spoiler.
shit. Like,
Something
No
about
one cares.
dousing himself in White Claw is what I heard.
no, that's just,
Something about being high on life,
probably just
Hey,
sunshine,
Just
unicorn.
support Lost Kingdom. It's a fantastic book. I should know.
Yeah,
I've
there
been
you go.
working on it.
just like,
There you go.
just
I heard.
not
Yeah, I
just
heard the editor's a cool
big,
guy.
so
I heard he's pretty tall. You know what I mean?
The author's a fucking
Yeah.
jackass, though.
Tall, possibly enigmatic,
If you know what I mean.
may not really exist.
If you know what I mean.
I'm a figment.
If you know what I mean.
Oh, that's so gay.
Well, you showed up to.
Yes, it is. It's very gay.
You know what I mean.
Oh, be nice.
We're just gonna keep saying if you know what I
By the
mean,
way,
Justin.
I'm gonna post.
Yeah, it's a great Norm Macdonald bit. One of his earliest stand-up routines. I love it. Shout out to the Norm fans.
Yes.
Oh,
Maji
Royce.
Hi, Maggie.
Check Twitter in about 5 minutes. You're
Okay.
gonna be cringing.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all
Is that my
so
dear
much for
sister?
tuning in to Iron Age Nights. It's been an absolute blast. I look forward to seeing you all next time.
He's lying.
Cheers, everybody.
Good night,
You're
everybody.
not supposed to tell them that.
Hell chat.
And back Lost Kingdom, damn it.
Oh,
Yes,
Backlot
yes, do it, do
Kingdom.
it
I
now.
dropped that link one
Find
more
the
time
kingdom.
in the chat. The music is over. The music is over. We're supposed to be gone.
That
Why are
means
we still
nothing.
here? It means everything.
Why
Bye,
are we
everybody.
here? Just to
We should
suffer?
one time
Bye.
just do this for like 40
Bye,
minutes
everybody.
after.
Right,
the,
fucking just be
just keep
fucking
it going.